Well, hi folks, and welcome to another exciting episode of Art Tips with John. I am your host, John Morris, the painter of memories, and welcome to the show that teaches you not only how to build your own successful art business, but also how to build and unleash on your creative talents. As always, we are sponsored by our great friends at outreachart.org. They're the best at online courses because they understand their students. It's taught by professional artists, and I am one of them. And they've got some amazing content which you can do, and you can learn how to paint from the comfort of your own home. If you would like to support us and them at Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/outreachart and support there. They've got some amazing thank yous and amazing tiers where you can get some amazingly special offers that you won't see anywhere else. Today I want to share with you perhaps one of my greatest and favorite teachings in the most humble of ways possible, and it is all about the Rubik's Cube. By the end of this teaching, you will understand why people do what they do, how they respond to the way that they do, and how people see things from their perspective. That and so much more in today's teaching. Welcome to today's show. Okay folks, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when we were looking about keeping yourself safe online, we are going to teach and we're going to talk about today the Rubik's Cube. Now, many of you will see this before. It is a Rubik's Cube. I am not a Rubik's Cube master. I've had this one for a couple of days now, and I've been working on it, bits and pieces, and it's great. The thing that I love about the new Rubik's Cube is it moves really smoothly. My old one literally was just clunky and everything. So, what can I tell you about the Rubik's Cube? Well, as I said, by the end of today's teaching, you will understand why people do what they do, why they respond the way that they do, and how they see things from their perspective. So, here we go. What do you see? Well, you see a Rubik's Cube. Okay, now, you would argue with me, point blank, that the top line from this side is orange, red, and green, okay? Now you would argue that solidly. Now what I want you to imagine is this is the Earth. You can only see what's right in front of you, okay? So imagine we've got a big long string and this is hanging here, basically, okay? So, you see things from your perspective. Remember what we said, orange, red, green. Well, I see things from a very different perspective. I see red, orange. Now you would argue point blank, no, that's not it, that's not the way, it can't be that way, but it is. And I could argue back and say, yep, absolutely, from my perspective, that is what the colour is. Now we can both agree that there are 9 stickers on your side and there's 9 stickers on my side, and if someone was here they would say 9, 9, 9, 9. Okay, so we can at least agree on that. We can agree on the fundamental things. But we will never ever agree that what's on my side is the same as what's on your side. And yet you would agree that's what's right. I'm right because I can see things from my perspective. I don't know if you know much about how civilizations formed, but I'm going to give you a quick history lesson. Please just humour me, it will only take a moment or two. When the world was formed, Earth basically, or I'm talking about landmass here, was all one. So England, Ireland, the United States, Russia, every island that you see on the planet was all connected. Okay? Now I don't know if you know that. Early civilizations used to wander together. That means that if I was an early civilization, I would wander with a Filipino, who would wander with an Italian, who would wander with a French person, who would wander with an American, a Canadian, an Australian, a New Zealander, a Kiwi even, who would wander with an Irishman or woman, would wander with a Russian, and so on and so on and so on. We all wandered together. And then one day, half the group decided to go north, and the other half decided to go that way. Now the reason I point to that way is because whatever you see, it's going to be the opposite way for me, okay? So one half went up, one half went right, or left, whatever way you're watching this, okay? So what happened then was they learned to speak in different ways, and eventually the half that went north, well, there was some of them that said, you know what, maybe we're better off, and we're a bit cold up here, we're going to go back down south. So they split, so now you've got 3 groups, and the group that went on the other way did the same thing, so now you've got 4 groups, and eventually they split, and 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 they split. Then what happened was, all the islands split. Okay, so now you've got all these different islands that are no longer joined together. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, are you keeping up with the story? They now see things from a very different perspective, whereas at one point we all saw things from the same perspective. People now see things from a very different perspective based on their culture. Okay, so we fast forwarded some hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of years, maybe millions of years. Okay? And some people now will say, and I'm going to pick on religion a little bit here, but I don't mean disrespect to anybody, but some people would say Christianity's the way. Other people would say Mormon's the way. Other people would say Hinduism is the way, or Sikhism, or, whatever the other religions are out there. There's a lot of them. But the crazy thing, Christianity would say, well, Baptist is the only way, and then they would say, no, Church of Scotland is the only way, and then they would say, no, Church of England is the only way, Church of Wales, Church of Ireland. Each one has a different thought process on what happened, why, based on a very different story and series of events. It's how history plays out. So they see things from this perspective, okay? They can only see things based on what they're willing to know. The sad thing is, folks, now more and more people are getting into a mindset of separation. They're getting into a mindset of, well, I don't want to know. I'm not interested in other people's perspective. So you'll only ever see orange, red, green. You will never see the beautiful colours that are on my side. Or you will never see the beautiful colours that are on the other side. Why? Because you don't want to see. And as we get more and more individual, people get more and more focused on their own beliefs. They get more and more focused on what works for me. But how amazing would it be if you could have someone come from this side and say, wow, the colours on my side are blue, yellow, green. And someone from this side come and say, well, I see red, yellow, blue. See? And some from the top say, well, I see white, green, and yellow. And some from the bottom say, I see red, white, blue. How amazing would it be if you actually allow people into your life from all walks of life, all different ideas and beliefs and faiths and things, and maybe, just maybe, we would see the complete picture as it was meant to be. I honestly don't believe that the world was meant to be, separated and we're all meant to be against each other, we're all meant to be at fights and things. Perspective is a really interesting thing. Here's a controversial statement for you. Some believe that Adolf Hitler was right in what he did. Other people believe that Adolf Hitler was absolutely hellacious and sadistic. And he was completely wrong. How on earth could he be right in what he did? Remember, if you can only see from one side of the Rubik's Cube, you'll never understand the other side. Now, I'm picking on, obviously, serious incidences in world history which are designed to get you fired up. Let's pick on another one, Donald Trump, Boris Johnson. What about North and South Korea? Oh, I'm getting into trouble now. Some people would say adamantly, because I've watched you on Facebook, that Donald Trump, oh my goodness, he's the greatest president the world has ever seen. Other people would say, oh my goodness, he's the complete opposite. He's the most lunatic of presidents that we have ever had. How he ever got elected into presidency, I have no idea. But I wonder what would happen if you sat down with someone of an opposing view, with no agenda. You both have to have no agenda. And you just said to them, I've got a question for you, because I'm interested. What would happen if you said to them, why do you think Donald Trump is the greatest president that's ever lived? Oh, all of a sudden, they would tell you from their side of the Rubik's Cube. They would tell you, and because I've been playing with this, the colours have changed. They would tell you what they see in white, red, and red. Or they would tell you green, white, and green. And all of a sudden you could say, well, you know what? I mean, you may say that's complete lunacy. Run away from them. But you may actually say, you know what? I now understand. I don't agree with your view necessarily, but I now understand why you believe what you do. How interesting would it be, and I know I'm going to get into trouble for this one, if all religions, one person from each religion, because what they say is every religion holds an element of truth. It's like legends and myths. There's an element in truth in there, and it gets blown up and expanded as time goes on. But how amazing if you could have a Sikh, a Christian, I'm not going to go with Mormon, a Hindu, a Muslim. I'm trying to think of other religions now. I've got 2 squares left. I'm sure you'll think of your own. A Jedi. But if you could say to them, what is it about Sikhism, Hinduism, Muslim, Jedi that you believe? Native American spirituality. What is it about that connection with the earth that really resonates with you? If nothing else, you will understand more about a person. Let's pick on another one just to wrap up. Brexit. Some people voted no, some people voted yes. Independence. Some people voted no, some people voted yes. And if you're watching this and you want to comment, please don't. Certainly not with aggressive comments. But what about if you could, in a relaxed atmosphere, say to somebody, why do you think we should leave? Why do you think we should cut ourselves off? Is it because we're really aggressive people and we want our own way? Is it because, like in so many revolutions, the French and the Industrial Revolution, the people have had enough of being abused and their time manipulated and their money's manipulated? And they say, you know what, we want to do this for ourselves because we think we can do a better job. And yet someone from a completely different perspective would say, well, you know what? We've provided jobs for you. We've provided homes for you. We've provided food for you. What are you complaining about? Again, different perspectives. But folks, I guess what I'm trying to say in this, before you react aggressively, ask yourself one question. Can I see the full picture? Now, I personally believe only God can see the full picture, okay? But if you had people from all different sides and all walks of life and everything, and you brought them together, and you said, can you tell me why you believe what you do? Because it comes down to belief, a lot of it. Why you do what you do. How has it shaped you? I think you might be amazed at some of the answers that they would give. And what an incredible thing to be able to sit there with somebody where you can finally see more of the picture than what you see yourself. Folks, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode of Art Tips with John. As always, I've been your host, John Morris, the painter of memories. It's been one of my favourite teachings, and hopefully this will help you understand a little bit more about why people do what they do, how they respond in the way that they do. A lot of it's to do with culture, beliefs. It's also to do with on their perspective and how they see the world. And I loved putting this teaching together for you. Maybe I'll do some more of these in the future if you've enjoyed it. Please do, as always, feel free to like, share and subscribe. Drop me a constructive comment in the comment section below. No hate comments, please, because it will just get you kicked off. But I really appreciate it. As always, if you enjoy my content and my teaching, I would love you to support us at Patreon. You'll be amazed at some of the amazing exclusive gifts that you can get and you can purchase for yourself on patreon.com/outreachart. And of course, we can't forget our good friends and sponsors at Outreach Art. They are the best at what they do in home education and online art courses because they understand their students, and it's the ability to be able to do it wherever you are in the world, right from the comfort of your own home. Folks, this has been Art Tips with John, the show that teaches you not only how to build a successful art business, but also how to unleash your creative talents. And until next time, take care, God bless, and I will see you soon.